Welcome back to our YouTube channel, guys. My name's Ardil and welcome back to another behind the sound video on the absolutely stunning Lamborghini Huracan Evo behind me. If you haven't done so already, guys, remember we've got the massive 10K subscriber giveaway competition live already on our channel. That is in the description below, so make sure you go check that out. You would have seen on our channel already, as well as on our socials, some Instagram clips plus YouTube videos on the build so far, talking through not only product overview, but also showing you guys a little bit more behind the scenes about what goes on a system. And these whole series are to do with actually showcasing a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes, so you guys at home get to see exactly what goes on. Obviously, with what we've got going on in the front tub, we are still in the process of building basically a framework for the 3 Thesis amplifiers to be mounted into that front tub. It is going to basically be filling up the whole entirety of this tub, but it is going to sound absolutely amazing. Remember, these amplifiers are Class AB amplification. They are top spec products, and they are on their way from Italy directly to us on a private shipment directly to us to have the system getting done in the timescales that we do. So that's all going to be running, and we're going to be doing a full video actually on the amplification build process, on how that's basically forming in a bit more detail at another time. However, today's video is talking about not only speakers, but also the actual components inside the door, and a bit more about soundproofing, the importance of that to you guys on a car. Inside this door, in any door, any panel work, whether that's the roof or this door card here, basically you've got a very tinny sound coming from the vehicle. Manufacturers will never soundproof a vehicle to the way we do. We use something called a skins 3mm layer. So the 3mm layer that we use is basically, this is one sheet here. So as you can see, it's a little bit bigger than an A4 page. However, this is a really high quality, high density system that basically allows for reducing rattles and resonations in that factory door card, building a far better acoustic environment for the new sound system to work in. And this stuff is very vital to having a good system installed. So this basically gets applied to all areas inside the door, roof, floor, back shelf, because we're adding a lot more power into the car. Plus, obviously, the actual products that are going in are to a far higher quality than actually what comes from manufacturer, which we'll go through a bit later on. But inside this door, this is now all been acoustically soundproof on the back of this panel. So now it's really nice and solid. Inside the door, you've also got, so that panel there, and then you've got actually where the framework actually sits, which holds all the electrics in the vehicle, plus also where the speaker actually gets bolted to here. So all this area here is all being acoustically soundproof using the skins 3mm layer. We don't cover areas like this, like any electronic work inside the vehicle, like sensors and things like that. Reason is because the vehicle still needs to be able to be serviced from a manufacturer's point of view, or anyone else going into this door. It needs to be in key areas that actually reduce those rattles, resonations, but also don't limit you from actually servicing the vehicle or altering anything or changing any parts. So all these clips are still very accessible, which is very important. However, there is still a little bit more acoustic work to go into this door, which means securing clips, which means securing these loose connections here. Obviously, the potential of these cables touching that little bit of resonation, that'll all be taped up, so it's all a lot neater inside this door. Like here, this will be taped up, so it's a little bit more secure, and basically that's stopping that rattle resonation inside the door, potential of anything like that from happening. So it's very important that that's acoustic soundproof. We've also soundproofed the floor, and the roof has actually been stripped back to allow for the soundproofing to go into the roof as well. So that's going to be going in, because that area was actually quite a problematic part of the car for the system. Obviously the doors, yes, everyone knows they get soundproof. However, the roof was on this occasion very tinny. We had to do something with it, so we stripped back that existing Lamborghini headliner. We'll be soundproofing that and then reapplying that headliner back into the vehicle, and you won't see a thing. However, that panel will all be solid, it'll be nice and deadened, plus obviously keeping all that sound inside the vehicle. These systems aren't about being loud outside the car. We can do systems for that. However, this is all about clarity, quality, all about being controlled inside the actual cabin itself. When those doors are shut, you immerse yourself in the sound, which honestly, if you haven't heard a system like this, make sure you come by, listen to our demo car, and you'll get an idea of the level that we're talking about here. I can talk as much as I can about the soundproofing, how good these systems are. You have to come by, listen to it yourself. These systems are incredible. There's a reason why we get people from all over the UK and all over the world travel all over to us to have systems like this installed. Not only the level of detail detail that we go into in these videos, and also highlighting all the stuff on the install basis, but also the actual quality of products that we're putting in to the level we're putting them in really do make a massive difference. So that's a little bit more of an overview on the soundproof. I'm going to head over, check out some speakers now. So inside here, we've got, to start off with, we'll start off with the higher frequencies. We've got quite a nice selection of products here. So this is kind of like the three-way setup that we've got. We've got higher frequencies being played by a tweeter. We've got what's called mid-bass being provided by the Audison Thesis sax here. Then we've got sub and bass frequencies being played by the actual sub itself. Surrounding yourself and immersing yourself within sound, you do need all three products. Whether they're different quality products, but you do need all three to surround yourself in a vehicle. Because there's no way, if you're not having a designated sub in the vehicle, there's no way even the top spec Audison Thesis sax will play as low as this. Reason is because bass is down to what's called excursion of a cone. So how much a cone is moving forwards and backwards. So this is an 8-inch sub. This is a Hertzmille Legend sub that we've got here. A really nice bit of kit. So as you can see by the size of the magnet, it's an impressive bit of kit. But this is only an 8-inch sub. Obviously, you go to a 12-inch sub, you go to a 10-inch sub, 15-inch sub, whatever size you want. That will change the way sound is actually delivered from that speaker. But we use the Hertzmille Legend range or Hertzmille Pro range generally for bass, is because of the excursion cone and the cone design, how much the actual sub can move actually up and down. And obviously, when power is delivered to this, it absolutely rocks. We're actually going to have 2 of these behind the seats, and we'll do a full separate video live directly on the sub install on the car, because that is going to be absolutely incredible. So really looking forward to getting them into the car. There'll be 2 of these. So I just want to explain that's the differences between the different ranges. So they've got higher frequencies here, mid-range in here with mid-bass, as well as obviously you've got your bass frequencies there as well. You can, depending on system, have a mid-range speaker which sits in between the tweeter and the 6.5-inch driver here, if you have space for it and if space basically allows for it in a vehicle. However, on the setup, on the processing power that we've got built into the actual processor, which is the Audison Virtuoso, what we're actually going to be able to do is set filters, change exactly what parameters we want each speaker to play, and then we'll do what's called a bit tune on the system, which is basically getting 95% of the way there on the tuning side of it, and we'll do a full separate video, guys, on the tuning side of the system on this car, which is using bit tune, and then I'll fine tune it by ear so I know that it's inch perfect, ready for our customer. So these are going to be going into custom A-pillars. These are yet to be converted to our black design. So these will be going into a custom A-pillar. These are a phenomenal piece of equipment. So these speakers, the Audison Thesis Tweeter and the Audison Thesis Sax, actually are installed in my own car. These are products I use day in and day out, and I wouldn't recommend a product to you guys when you come by for your audio consultation that I haven't not only used but also heard and would put into my own vehicle. So if that product is not good enough for me, it does not go in your car at all. So overall, a really nice spec system. Thesis tweeters, the Thesis 6.5-inch drivers, which is going to be the main focus on the video now. So the weight difference not only is incredible, but this is the factory speaker. So what we've got here is, as you can tell, the magnet on the back and the difference that you've got there is incredible. You've got a really cheap paper cone design, and this is actually what you get from manufacturer. You get them across most VW Audi group cars, and that's why it's installed into this car to save money and cost, because you can't see it. You never see this product unless I'm showing it to you now. Obviously, the car is amazing, but however, the system that's in there sound-wise, there's a reason why brand new cars like this one come into us, because you're listening to a paper cone design, very small magnet, not soundproofed inside that vehicle. You've got rattles, you've got resonation, you've got sound waves bouncing around all over the place, not controlled sound, and you've got no bass as well, because you've not got a designated sub in the vehicle as well. So you're lacking that one part, which I mentioned in the video earlier. To immerse yourself in that sound, you haven't got a sub in the vehicle from factory, you're not playing all those frequencies, it makes a world of difference. So that is now going to be upgraded with the Audison Thesis Sax. So what we've done is built a chassis out of 3D printed mold, and there's still more to be done to this to strengthen this as well. However, we've got this grille that can either clip on or clip off, and then what we're also going to be doing is obviously these are mounted into and then go into a stock location. So as you can see, the actual holes marry up to these, which allow for it to go into a stock location completely. So we're not damaging any of the door behind the scenes, which obviously retains originality when we convert the system back. This system, obviously you've seen the level of work that we're doing on the system, the amount of modifications we're doing to the car to get this level of equipment inside the car, which is no easy task by all means. However, what we can do is still reverse the system. So wherever possible, we make it so it's reversible, like doing things like this with the 3D printing, like with any part of our build. We try as much as possible to reverse it. On this system, because of the level of equipment going in, because of the space that we've got to work with, there will be parts needed to make this car go back to a stock look. However, it is achievable. We can return it back to a stock look, and we always work to that with the ability. Sometimes we can do it completely without needing any parts whatsoever. Sometimes, like this car, with the level of detail that we're going into, with the level of products that we're putting in, we will need to replace some parts if the customer ever wants to return it back to stock when they come to sell the car, because all these products can actually be moved and moved to another car. I can actually take all these products out and move them into my Ford Mustang, and I can move the Ford Mustang system right into this Lamborghini Huracan. It's literally that transferable, and we design and spec systems in that way as well. So overall, this is going to make a world of difference, giving you a load more mid-bass, obviously from the stock speaker. I mean, the weight difference is literally incredible. So this weighs a hell of a lot more. Obviously, you can tell by the magnet size, you can tell by the design. If you want to see the full specs for all of these products, they are all in the description below, guys, so make sure you go check that out. But overall, really happy with the progress the boys are making so far. Obviously, the products are, we're still waiting on the amplifiers to come in directly to us from Italy. However, most of the products here, we've still got plenty to crack on with, so there'll be more videos being posted up on our YouTube channel very soon. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys. Make sure you don't miss any of our future videos, but also make sure you check out the 10K subscriber video, because that is an awesome competition where we've got loads of prizes up for grabs. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you soon.